Okay, let's dive right in. We're about to challenge one of the first things you probably ever learned in science class, the states of matter. Because it turns out our whole picture of what the universe is actually made of, well, it might be completely upside down. And I mean, this really says it all, doesn't it? For more than 100 years, we've had the framing backwards. We're taught that solids, liquids, and gases are the main event, and plasma is just some weird, exotic cousin. But what if plasma isn't the exception? What if it's the rule? Here is the absolute core of the idea. Plasma is not some exotic state of matter. It's the fundamental way the electromagnetic field itself shows up when it starts to separate and take form. Now, this is a huge shift in thinking, right? Plasma isn't just another item on a list. It's the primary generative reality that everything else comes from. So what about all the solid stuff around us? You know, your desk, your phone, even you. In this new picture, matter is the rare exception. It's a localized, crystallized pattern that forms out of that fundamental plasma. And look, this isn't just some philosophical idea. It's about what our universe is actually made of. And that number, 99.9%, that really puts the sheer undeniable scale of this inversion into perspective. I mean, just look at this chart. It shows that basically the entire visible universe is plasma. And that little sliver, just 0.1%, that's what we call matter. So which one is the norm and which one is the anomaly? The data is pretty clear. Plasma isn't the exception. It is the overwhelming rule. Okay, so if plasma is the cosmic norm, where is all of it? Well, the answer is it's not hiding. It is everywhere you look. You're seeing it every single time you look up at the night sky. The stars themselves, those glowing nebulae, the solar wind that streams from our sun, even those vast, incredible filaments that form the cosmic web. All of these are just magnificent expressions of plasma. So, here's the crucial takeaway. Plasma is not rare. It is the normal expression of the cosmic field. This completely reorients our thinking from a universe made of tiny, separate particles to a universe of flowing, interacting electromagnetic fields. But this cosmic field, it's not just random chaos. Not at all. Plasma is a dynamic and, frankly, a profoundly self-organizing system. It organizes itself through this beautiful constant interplay between two primary forces. On one side, you have electric gradients pushing outward, driving the field to expand and separate. You can almost think of it like a cosmic breath. And on the other side, you have magnetic tension providing containment, pulling that structure together. It's a constant cosmic dance between expansion and containment. So, if plasma is this dynamic, flowing dance, how on earth does solid, stable matter ever appear? The answer to this is probably the most crucial part of this whole new perspective. The answer lies in a really special moment of balance. Structure appears when that outward electric push and that inward magnetic pull phase lock. Think of it like two waves perfectly aligning to create a stable, repeating pattern, a perfect resonant equilibrium. And in that moment, something incredible happens. The plasma stops dispersing and it just starts oscillating in place. The energy, instead of flowing outward, gets locked into this repeating pattern. And this is what we call a standing wave. And this gives us our new definition. Matter is not the opposite of plasma. It is plasma. It's simply plasma whose electric and magnetic pressures have phase locked into a persistent, repeating pattern. So what we call atoms, they're just these really stable plasma configurations. Now, I know this can sound a little abstract, so to make it more intuitive, let's try a metaphor. Let's think of it as a kind of universal weaving. So imagine the huge electromagnetic field is like a bunch of loose yarn. The electric force is like individual threads moving outward. The magnetic force is the action of weaving those threads together. And matter? Matter is the finished fabric, a stable, woven pattern that actually holds its shape. But, and this is really important, we have to remember this is a metaphor. The universe isn't literally knitting. It's just a way to help us visualize how that outward electric push and that inward magnetic pull can lock together and create these stable, lasting patterns. Okay, so when we put all of this together, we get a completely new sequence for how the universe organizes itself. You could even call it a new grammar of creation. This sequence here really gives us a clean summary. First, the field itself differentiates and becomes plasma. Then that plasma flows and organizes itself through that constant electric and magnetic dance. Third, when those pressures phase lock, standing waves appear. And finally, fourth, those standing waves are what we recognize as matter. This leads to a really profound and kind of beautiful idea. Just like the slide says, structure is simply plasma remembering how to return to itself. In this view, form isn't some separate thing that's created. It's a memory, a pattern that's held within the field itself, just waiting for the right conditions to be expressed. And that leaves us with a final, pretty provocative question. How does our view of everything, from the cosmos all the way down to our own biology, how does it all change when we start to see plasma as fundamental and see matter as the rare, beautiful coherence that emerges from it?